I think I get a little bit of me from each project that I do. So physiotherapy kind of fulfills my thirst for knowledge, for understanding the human body, the human movement. What does it take to be a dancer? How can you heal if you have an injury of some sort? Just it kind of fulfills that. Dance fulfills my creativity aspect, and with MTMY Closet, I think that fulfills my drive to do something on a bigger level for this world.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Floor podcast. I'm your co-host Kenny Buller, and we're here today to talk about how to survive, how to thrive, and keep the good vibes going in life and business. We are super excited today to have Omid Kaderi, our co-host, meet and conversate with the one and only Naina Batra. Before we start, let's of course mention some of our favorite new sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by and sponsored by a local Edmontonian cloud-based platform called MTMY Closet. MTMY Closet is a platform that allows certain individuals who have a great sense of fashion but no longer feel the need to wear current clothes in their wardrobe, allowing them to showcase whatever they have in their wardrobe or closet online to give people the opportunity to purchase their clothing items online. As well, this episode is sponsored by the one and only Q Films. Q Films is actually behind the scenes of multiple various different music videos of Naina Batra's. As well, Q Films offers a wide array of video and photography services for weddings, for events, for our podcast, and many other services that you need to be videotaped. If you guys would like to check out Q Films, please contact Second Floor Podcast or contact your boy Omid Kaderi. Without further ado, I am super excited to introduce to you our guest today, Naina Batra. Naina is a hit YouTube sensation with just under 500,000 YouTube subscribers, with over 77 million views totaling all of her videos. Naina is a self-taught dancer who, growing up since the fruitful age of 10 years old, before moving to North America, she had this huge passion for dance, which she still carries through in her life. She grew up watching Maudhari Dixit all her life, who's a famous Bollywood star, and she took a lot of that self-interest in dance and decided to display her talent online for all people to watch on YouTube. Naina not only has a love for dance, she balances this with her career in physiotherapy. As well, she's the co-founder of MTMY Closet. Without further ado, we're super excited to have Omid talk with Naina about her love for dance, her old, long-time business and dance partner relationship with Manpreet Tour. We're gonna have us find out Naina's side of the story, and of course, how she juggles all of this in life and business. Take it away, Omid.
Welcome everyone back to the second floor. We have a very, very special guest today. This one I was looking forward to for a very long time. Wanted to wait until we actually got the El Centro location. Naina Batra is in the house. Naina, welcome to the second floor. We learn how to strive, how to survive, and keep the good vibes going in life and business. Totally. So thank you for coming, Naina. Appreciate it. We have a good relationship. Obviously, I've done a couple of your videos. You are an amazing dancer, obviously. I've seen it firsthand. Just being a part of it live, recording it, just being a part of your process and your journey has been like a blessing. So I kind of want to dive a little bit deep and start off with a couple stats that I wrote. Okay. You are a pretty big influencer in the dance community, I would say. Just gonna nail off some stats here. So 446,000 subscribers on YouTube, 77 million total views on your YouTube channel, 104,000 Instagram followers, and I think your most popular public video has 13 million views. That's crazy.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't even know some of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to kind of get into how you got into dance first.
Yeah.
Why you got into it, what kind of triggered you to start making your own videos. and we'll start there.
Yeah, I think I thought about this after a while. Initially, it kind of started because I love dancing, but over time, my cousin actually used to tell me this, like, Dee, you have, like, you know, every single beat. Like, we'll be driving down the road and I'll be like expressing each beat, just like I'll be vocalizing it out, like little things like that. She's like, that's insane, how are you doing this? And I'm like, what, this is fun. I didn't realize, like, I know the music inside and out if I love it. So, and through dance I get an opportunity to kind of express that out. So I think that's where it kind of stems from.
Yeah. And when did you start kind of taking it to a point where you were starting to make your own videos on YouTube? Because you started early, right?
Yeah.
From your videos, it's almost 7, 8, 9 years ago is what I saw, but maybe probably even earlier before that, right?
I want to say 2007 was the first one that I uploaded on YouTube.
Oh wow,
yeah,
2007?
Yeah, it was the Diwali show back in the day. Just, I didn't know anything about YouTube. I don't know why I even posted it online. Maybe I was kind of hearing things about how you can actually present it kind of on a global platform through YouTube, and I wanted people to see it because I thought I was good.
Yeah.
And so that was maybe why I initially projected it on YouTube, and from there we were dancing every year already. I was dancing with a friend of mine on a big tour, and we were annually creating these dances, and might as well post them on YouTube. So I didn't think much about it initially, and then kind of in the last 3 years is when the whole social media kind of became really big for us, and yeah.
Now, did you go to any dance classes? Do you have any formal training in dance, or did you just kind of pick up things because of?
Yeah, no, I don't have any formal training in dancing at all. I just watched TV growing up a lot. Boogie Woogie was a big one back in the day. Then later came DID, Dance India Dance. So I kind of grew up on those shows, and of course Bollywood movies. And being a girl, I loved the whole like singing and dancing that's incorporated into Bollywood, Bollywood scene. So
yeah. So then, when did your videos with your partner? When did it start to like take off on YouTube? When was the the holy moment?
Yeah, I think one of our biggest one, or the first that kind of became viral, would be Barsore. So Barsore from the movie Guru, that one became really big. It wasn't even uploaded on my channel actually. It was uploaded on GTV, who were9recording Bhangra gigs all throughout California at the time. And from there, they already had a following. I don't know what was their following, how many subscribers they had at the time, but it still remains the #1 video on their channel. So that's
how many views? Last time.
I'd say 20 million.
20 million?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's crazy. So did that give you kind of like the confidence, being like, okay, like I have something here in dance, like I'm doing something different or unique?
Yeah, I remember it hitting 1 million, and I'm like, whoa, this is happening. And again, I didn't really make much of it.
Yeah.
I just kept doing what I love doing. Even after that, it was just like, okay, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is great feedback. We were getting the feedback regardless,
Yeah.
but this was on a bigger platform, and it continued to kind of strengthen and encourage us.
Yeah. And then you started doing videos on your own channel, and that started to pop off, right? After kind of that big kind of hit?
Yeah, so I continued to make YouTube videos on my channel, but because of my move to Edmonton after getting married, I had to kind of start all over, in the sense that I had to be independent and kind of create solos, or find another partner to kind of do my duets with, and start over in that sense.
Yeah, so I kind of want to go into that, because I think that's a very good point, because a lot of your audience probably doesn't know what you do other than dance, right? And you're starting to like showcase that more and more. You're a physiotherapist, you've started MTMY Closet with your husband. Tell me, okay, just from as a person that juggles many different things as well, how do you juggle working off doing your dance? Because a lot of people don't know how difficult it is to choreograph a dance, how much preparation it takes, making content online. You've been consistent. Every month you're dropping videos on your Instagram, you're doing workshops, you're doing many different things. So maybe speak on that. Like, how do you balance everything that you got going on?
Yeah, I think I've been balancing it from a very young age, just going to undergrad and still maintaining or having time to do choreography for the dances, just because I love it so much. I can't let it go. So a lot of my time initially was going into being a full-time student until I completed my doctorate of physical therapy. So even then, I wanted to make sure I have dance within my life somehow. And I would continue to teach dance. I still do. And sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, like how do you juggle it all, right? Because a lot of people your audience might think that you're a full-time dancer, just based on the influence you have online. But you're not. You're an entrepreneur, you are a physiotherapist, you do many different things outside of dance.
Yeah, so like I said, for me, life is not about one thing. I always put my studies up to be one of my main priorities. So completing my undergrad in bio and minor in chemistry, that was always been a number one. And then dance kind of always took a step back, although I always wanted it to be a part of my life. So even when I completed my doctorate in physical therapy, I had less time to create things, but I still did them. Back in the days, I did them at my own time. So I was actually coming out with videos once a year. So that's crazy to think about, and being able to build, subscribers or a following. Even, I love my fans for that. I love my followers for that, because they've been consistent with me, although I haven't been consistent with my videos. So until I think after I moved to Edmonton and actually started continuing doing more, because I'm no longer a full-time student.
Can you talk about the move to coming to Edmonton a little bit? I know, taking everything that you've done, moving, especially, a woman moving out, and especially like coming to a different country, right? How was that starting kind of over again? What was that process like? Yeah,
I knew what I was getting myself into, but I've moved so many times in the past. I made my first big move from India at the age of 10 to California, and within California we moved about 3-4 times. So I was used to kind of, let go of, of the previous relationships that you've made and go on to the next one. And each time, every move was kind of at a different time of my life. So beginning was, early childhood, then middle school, then going to high school. And it's just, every move was kind of, I felt like it was placed at a very strategic manner. So it was at a different growth phase of my life, and so was moving to Edmonton. I was done with my school, I was moving, I was married, so I felt like start over, start fresh. So I knew this is going to be a biggest move, because I'm not only moving countries, I'm getting married, I'm out of school, I felt like a free bird in a way as well. So it was easy? Yeah, I had to set my mind right. I had to kind of prepare myself that I am going into something that's completely different. But throughout that initial period, it was tough. But I knew, Amit is going to make it much more of an easier transition for me to come here. Not just him, but his family and his friends. So that's been one of my biggest anchors of still being alive in Edmonton. And thriving in Edmonton. Yeah,
and you continued your passion for dance, obviously, and you continued to drop videos once a month, and you found a way. So tell me the process of when you started in Edmonton, how you went about still making the dance work, because obviously now you're married, you got a lot more responsibility on your plate. How did you go about that? Yeah, I wanted to make sure I wanted to keep dance into my life. So I started teaching dance on the side, just how I was in California, apart from also, working as a physiotherapist to keep me going, keep that fuel going, keep that drive going through for dance. Where was I going with this? I'm wandering off. It's okay. Was it easier in California to to find dancers, to get videographers, to be in the dance, as the dance community probably is bigger. I don't know.
It is bigger.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it was any different.
No?
I felt Edmonton was actually an easier.
Really?
Yeah, because my videographer was my iPhone back in the day, and my dance partner was my high school buddy.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
here I had to kind of search for
Network
one,
a little bit?
network a little
Yeah,
bit to
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of find someone. But luckily, because of my following from my previous videos, a lot of people had recognized who I was and kind of reached out on their own. And knowing that I'm in Edmonton, they were much more, you know, excited about collaborating, and so was I.
Yeah, and that's how we met too.
Yeah.
You through physio, through Raj, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's funny how that kind of worked out, because I'm obviously into video, doing videos, and then I've been the pleasure of having to do some of your videos and seeing the success on YouTube on that. So would you say that? So you would say there's not really a difference between the dance community in California than here?
Well, obviously, it's bigger in the sense that there's a lot more population there. There's a lot more shows happening on an annual basis.
Yeah.
Here, there is a drive for dancing, but there's not many platforms for them to kind of portray their talents. And California is so big, right? So where I'm only speaking from where I've grown up in the Central Valley, so I'm speaking from that front. So in that region, not very much. So Edmonton's quite bigger than where I'm from in California.
That makes sense. I kind of want to take it back to what we were talking about, how much time it actually takes for you to choreograph your stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but you don't really, you can't really monetize, and you haven't really monetized your dance.
Yes,
right?
Not.
Right? You're not a full-time dancer, right? So explain what your process is when you choreograph and why you take certain methods over others.
Yeah, I start choreographing to a song that I like, essentially. So back in the day, it's much easier because the music has evolved so much now that I am like, do I really enjoy this? You know, there's been a lot of remakes lately that I'm not into. So first and foremost have to like the song and actually feel it and somehow connect with it. And from there on, again, like I said, once I understand the music, I love it so much, all I have to do is express it. So just that process is so important for me because I creatively have to think about how can I express what I'm feeling through music. And that's what I want to keep in my life. And whatever I get out of it is YouTube, is all this following, you know, why are these flies all over here? So there's not a really big reason why sorry, the fly's bothering me.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
It's like so many.
It's all good. So I want to go a little bit more into depth with that. How long does it actually take you to choreograph a dance? Because I'm not sure. I mean, I do your videos, but I'll get a call from you and you're like, hey, I got the location, I got the partner, let's go do it. And I see the end result. And a lot of people see the end result. How long does it actually take you to put something together that's unique towards you?
Yeah, okay, so the timeline varies. Some songs take a short amount of time, some take a year often. So there's many songs still in the back of my mind that I'm still like, okay, I still need to do it, I still need to finish it up, but I just haven't had the time or just not creatively feeling that song anymore. So, but then something else will come along and I'll create it within 2 days or something like that. So it really varies. And you know, there's so many other aspects going into it. Location, do we have it? Costumes, do we have it? The partner, the feel, do we have that?
And you plan all that.
Yeah, so I have to kind of come up with it all and then put it together.
Yeah.
And if we can get it together in like a few weeks, great.
Yeah.
So I feel like as I'm doing it more and more, I try to have a timeline. Although I don't like to put like a timeline on it because creatively that limits me, and I don't like that. So I kind of let it be open, kind of let it sink in. But the sooner that you try to let the song come out, the better. I feel like. Yeah. Just because the song's still happening, and you know, there's still excitement around it.
Yeah.
So.
Are there any dance influencers or influences in your life that you kind of took? I know you talked about how you kind of look at different songs online or whatever the case, but is there someone or something that is a particular influence for your dance?
Yes. So growing up, Maudhari Dixit was a big influence for me, and I catch a lot of her essence within my dances.
Yeah.
So you probably noticed that in my previous videos.
Yeah.
And Beyonce later on kind of loved how she is so confident with her moves, so sharp and so fierceless. So that's what I like. And I kind of embrace that into my dancing. And then now with social media, there's so many that I can actually, go and search, or that are just right there in front of me. I feel like there's so many there. There's many dancers in LA like Matt, Safina, there's Joel, I forgot her name. Aaliyah. Anyways, there's many in LA. In India would be Melon Lewis and Aviz Darbar. So I love watching those guys.
Yeah. Now, do you take some of their styles and kind of incorporate it, kind of make your own, or do you kind of try to take a completely unique approach?
I take a unique approach because I cannot, even if I try to copy, I cannot copy it. So I take the essence, I take the feeling. What did they provide to me? And that's how it's always been, right? Yeah. So watching TV at a younger age, that's what I was taking in. Mm-hmm. So what they made me feel, and how can I do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I kind of want to take it back a little bit and take it to your relationship with Manpreet, because obviously both of you have had some success in the dance world. Mm-hmm. And there was a little bit of struggles here and there, and I want you to speak on that relationship, how that relationship influenced you, what was the good, maybe a little bit of the bad, where it kind of is now. Because I know, even from an outside perspective, I see the comments are like, oh, you and Manpreet gotta collab, you guys gotta get back together, you guys were such a dynamic duo, that type of thing. I want you to speak on that.
Yeah, so I always say this, like what Manpreet and I had was magical. Like when we danced together, it was magical. And that's what the audience has always seen and kind of connected to. And now that they don't have it, they seek it. And unfortunately, we are two different individuals. We have two separate lives. Growing up, we were in the same high school, so it was much easier to kind of come and collaborate. However, with, my move to Edmonton, it's obviously much tougher. So that's been the biggest struggle in terms of coming together to collaborate. So the distance has been a big reason for why we haven't been able to do so. But I'm very happy with what she's doing, because I know that's what she always wanted, and she's continuing her journey of dancing, and so am I. So
yeah. And I like that. I think especially with the creative field, it's very difficult to maintain a relationship with other people in the creative field, because we're always trying to do our own thing, but also keep the collaboration, keep that relationship. And obviously with your move, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Right? You moved here, you guys aren't at a vicinity to just collaborate just like that and start something, which makes a lot of sense. Tell me where you're at with dance right now, where your kind of headspace is with it. And I know you kind of focus on your own kind of genre, right? You don't really branch off into like other genres like hip hop or whatnot, but you're starting to kind of get into that maybe a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe talk about that. Yeah. Why are you getting into those other different fields? Maybe
because they're more available to me now. I don't know. Back in the days, more Maudhari, more Bollywood. So that's what I was seeing. That's what I was consuming as an audience. And so now I see a lot of variations, and I like them. And I would like to kind of consume that and kind of portray that towards my audience as well. Maybe that's what's going on. The music has changed, the vibes have changed, and that's what I'm embodying, and I want to, execute. Yeah. As well. So maybe that's what's going on. Yeah.
That's makes sense. What about you've started to do a couple workshops. You did a couple workshops this year. Talk about those.
Yeah, I was able to do a workshop in Vancouver this year in March, and then I just finished one in Chicago. So those were two really, really great workshops for me, and I just, it's something that I always wanted to do and never had the chance until now this year. So wonderful opportunity for me to go and explore and actually put a face behind all those followers who I get comments and messages from. So it was a wonderful experience, and definitely want to do a few more.
Yeah.
Coming up. Yeah.
That's amazing. We're going to switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about your relationship with Amit, your husband. You guys work on a company called MTMY Closet, which you both started. Talk about the relationship with him and why you decided to go into business. A lot of people keep business and personal separate, and with all the things that you're doing, including physio, including dance, including MTMY Closet, why you decided to kind of collab together, and what that relationship looks like.
I think both of us saw an opportunity, and we're the kind of people that if we see something that we think we can execute, we will. And so the idea kind of came from me having a lot of outfits, not having to, my closet's filled with outfits, and yet I have to say I don't have anything to wear. So, and Amit kind of saw an opportunity there. Hey, what if you can actually sell those outfits, because you do have followers who are messaging you and saying, where did you get that? Where can I get it? So what if there's now a platform for them to now purchase your items, or for a matter of fact, other fashion bloggers as well. So I thought that was a really neat idea that we can definitely ponder upon it for a year or so, and when the time was right and felt like it's ready to be executed, we got that sorted this year. So launched that as soon as we could.
Yeah. And how has that been so far? Just working, because a lot of people wouldn't mix personal with business, right? They would kind of go off and kind of do their own thing or whatnot. How's that relationship been together? How have you jived the personal and the business? How's that been? Yeah, well, just like any collaboration, you come together because you both have a passion, a drive for something, right? So both of us, I feel like, felt that Empty My Closet is a passion project for us, and it's not something that we're coming together to work on. It's more like, let's collaborate, have fun with this, and let's see where this journey takes us. Just because we're so, I don't know, just because we're so passionate about it. Yeah. I want to ask you why.
Yeah.
Like why take on so many different things? What drives you? What drives Naina? Because the average person won't take on as many projects as you and kind of still keep that fire, that momentum into all their different things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. No, I'll talk about it. I'm trying to think. Why do I do so much?
I'm trying to get uncomfortable here. I'm trying to really dig deep. Like, why?
Yeah. First of all, I would say that I can. I don't know. In the past, I'm fortunate enough, Amit's fortunate enough to have a very stable family who can support us. We don't have to think a lot of the things that others may have to or put their time and effort into. I feel like that's been my biggest anchor for me, my mom and my dad. They've never pushed me to do anything. They've kind of just, do what you need to do. We're here to back you up. You're stable with us.
Yeah. So where does that fire come from then? Well, if they didn't push you to do all these things, where does that internal drive come from?
I don't know. I feel like, why do I do so many things? I don't know. I don't know why do I do so many things. Am I doing so many things?
You are, yeah. From the average person, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's dancing on the plate, there's physio, there's Empty My Closet now.
Is it because you are passionate about many different things and you don't see those things as work that maybe drive you? Is that
Yes.
something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I get a little bit of me from each project that I do. So physiotherapy kind of fulfills my thirst for knowledge, for understanding the human body, the human movement. What does it take to be a dancer? How can you heal if you have an injury of some sort? Just it kind of fulfills that. Dance fulfills my creativity aspect, and with Empty My Closet, I think that fulfills my drive to do something on a bigger level for this world, and kind of fulfills my passion for fashion. So I think those are, I find myself, a little bit of myself in each project. So maybe that's why I have my hands in all.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking off experience, I'm the same way, starting this podcast with my co-host Kenny and doing the things that I'm doing, I can tell it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
And it's a little piece of me that has just kind of manifested into reality.
Yeah.
What's something that your audience doesn't know about you?
Me?
Well, doesn't know about Naina, because now you're there. They know that you dance. They know a little bit about what you do. What don't they know about you? It could be a personality trait. It could be something in your personal life. What's something that your audience specifically doesn't know about you?
I don't know if they know that. I think a lot of people don't know that I'm actually from Punjab. Like, I'm from India. I grew up in Punjab.
They don't know that you're from
I don't
there.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I never talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about something?
And maybe that's what kind of drives me to continue my passion for Bollywood dancing, for Indian dancing, and to bring it into this Western world and kind of combine the two worlds together. And that I can do that through dance. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah. What about something in your daily life
that they don't know about?
That they don't know. That you're willing to share, obviously, right? Or it could be a personality trait, something.
That's a hard one. What do they not know about? I get it. Oh, I think a lot of people don't know that I'm a very, very shy person.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a very shy person. So when a lot of people come up to me and they'll be like, okay, dance, I can't. I can't,
Yeah.
because I don't know. Being on the camera is totally different than being in person and dancing. So
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can sing on camera. I can do these things, which may be why I love being on social media, because I can be this person that I look up to on social media versus I can't be with you in person.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I wanted to dig into, because I know
Yeah.
it's a tough question.
Yeah.
People don't think about that. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I want to get into a little bit of what we call rapid round. Yes. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and you are going to answer them with just like a couple sentences.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
What's the most difficult dance you've choreographed?
I've choreographed?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, this is supposed to be rapid fire.
It's okay. It's okay. I want you to think about these two.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most difficult, or the one that's given you the most problems?
I can thinking of all the easy ones right now. I'm thinking which one gave me the hardest time.
Yeah.
Which one took me the longest would be Barsore. It took me a year
Really?
to kind of come up with.
A year? Okay.
So.
Why? What was the?
Just it was a big 5-minute performance, right? So it doesn't just happen over a course of a few weeks. It takes a while to kind of put together different. You're dancing for
5 minutes is a long time.
5 minutes is a long time. You want some sort of fluctuation throughout the performance. I don't just dance. I do a storytelling, and so I want to make sure I incorporate different elements into the performance that doesn't let a person get bored within a minute. So how do I do that? So
I like that.
coming up with a framework first, coming up with a story first helps, because then it can help me figure out the rest. And
Interesting. I like that. Your most favorite dance? Your favorite dance that you've done?
No.
I know you probably
all my dances are like my babies.
I know,
like how
I know.
do I choose?
Yes, I know. So what's one of your favorites? Or the favorite?
Two of my I would say Manwa Lage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why?
Because I created that piece when I didn't think I could. I was starting to go into graduate school, and as in a very intensive program. So I didn't think I would have the time to create something, but I still managed to do so. And if you watch that video, it's been done in a garage. It's been done in my regular tracksuits.
Yeah.
So nothing was put into it. There was no makeup. It was shot on my iPhone. Yet it got the biggest response. So I think I loved that about it.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Favorite location that you've shot at or danced at?
Yeah, I love dancing at different fun locations. So I think recently the Pink Alley was really fun.
That was in
Vancouver.
Vancouver, yes.
Yeah. So luckily we got the alley to be secluded. There were no what do you call it? Not paparazzi, but traveling people with each other.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Tourists. Luckily there were no tourists in the Pink Alley. We shot that at 9 o'clock. 9 a.m. And it was cold, but it was looking so beautiful. Yeah. The background was so beautiful.
So that's your favorite? That's your favorite that you've done currently?
Background? Yeah, that's the one I can think of right now.
Okay. No, that's all good.
Okay.
All good.
I feel like you want me to answer something.
No. I just wanted to know because if there was maybe there was another one that you hadn't that was kind of rolling around your head, but that's okay. A pet peeve of yours?
Pet peeve?
Yeah.
Mine. I don't know.
Okay. Anything?
There's a lot.
There's a lot? Just pick one.
I can't think of one right now.
Okay.
I thought of this question. Somebody asked me, what's my pet peeve? This is what I'm going to say. And I don't think
it's okay. You have a lot, and we won't go into.
If I think about it, I'll let you know.
Okay. So that kind of ends the rapid round. That ends the rapid round. I want to talk about your most popular video, the wedding dance performance that you did, right? It has hit 13 million views, almost 14.
Yes.
Talk about that performance, maybe kind of a backstory of how you got prepared, what you kind of went through, and.
See, the songs I have the least expectations for them, when they do great, I love that. It was one of those performances. My cousin Riddhi, she mentioned about the song, or maybe it was Gitanshu, but anyways, both are my cousins. They talked about this song that was coming up on a popular chart, is Nahi Jana by Neha Bhasin, and they thought it fit really well with the whole wedding. Since I'm getting married, if we can figure out a way to kind of incorporate that into one of the wedding routines or wedding performances. And kind of had to think about it, thought about it, just I let the song kind of simmer always. And once I have an idea, it's always about an idea. It's all about storytelling, and the song itself was so easy to do that because it kind of narrates itself, right? If you listen to the song, it talks about how the first brother-in-law comes, the second one comes, but you end up going with your husband back home. So that was already written. How can I project that? How can I do that for my own wedding? So I got together with my cousin. She basically, because she talks about the mom in the video, Nahi Jana Meri Mai, my mom, I needed an extra body with me, so I kept the cousin who suggested the song, Riddhi, so she kind of represented my mom, and it was me and her dancing, and then eventually she has to let me go with my husband, so that's why she she leaves at a certain time in the performance and lets me go with my husband. So created that within an hour. Super easy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was super easy. I wanted to make sure that the moves were easy because my cousin was performing with me, so the moves were easy yet impactful. And because everybody else in the song, all the brother-in-laws, Amit himself, were in Edmonton, we got to Edmonton, did the performance on the spot. The brother-in-laws came. All I told them, this is like 5 minutes before the performance.
Yeah.
It's like, all you have to do is when they say, pehli pehli baar, or that's when you just walk in, just knock on the door, and when you see me leave, you go away.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And they caught on so well.
Yeah.
And I told this to Amit, I was like, when she talks about the husband, that's when you walk in and you do your thing, and then we'll just freestyle after that. And can you imagine, like, there was not much put into that whole video.
Yeah.
And it became so big.
Yeah. Now,
And
you didn't expect that at all?
No.
Okay.
A lot of brides then started sending me videos of when, they've also done the same thing with their husbands and their brother-in-laws.
No way.
Yeah, so I created this 8 milli mashup on my Instagram to kind of, I don't know,
just for
showcase,
showcase,
just to
for
showcase
fun,
what all these brides have been doing, and put them all together in one video, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like how it became a chain of viral, a chain of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
a trend. There you go. That's what I was
amazing.
looking for.
Yeah, like you said, like sometimes the least favorite or the least dance that you would think that this is.
Yeah, because a lot of the dances you put so much location, makeup,
That's right. Yeah,
costumes.
you put a lot of effort.
This is we're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and it doesn't end up doing
Like as good.
as good as
Yeah.
you is expected.
Yeah.
And so I love those kind of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the next 3 to 5 years look like for Naina?
I never thought about the previous 3 to 5 years, so I don't know.
What about for dance?
Yeah.
Where do you see dance in 5 years? Where do you see your dance?
I always look for growth, so wherever I can learn from. I don't like repeating the same thing. I need to push my envelope, so I'm currently collaborating with other artists who are not in the same genre as me, so they can help me grow and I can help them grow and vice versa. So continue to do that. Let the opportunities come to the door.
Is there an artist, or could be a singer, could be any creative individual that you really want to collab with? Is there someone that's kind of on your radar?
Dancer-wise?
Could be dancer, could be it could be a creative individual, could be someone from India, could be someone from the US, who's someone that you would love to just
Collaborate
something
with?
with. Yeah.
Oh man. I would love to do a choreography piece in a Bollywood music,
In a movie?
In a Bollywood movie. Yeah, because I don't think.
Didn't you do one though? Didn't you have a?
Yeah, that was a music video though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a music video
Okay.
for Naina Batra.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was wonderful.
Yeah.
But
Now
just
that
because-
one you didn't choreograph, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did
I
choreograph
yeah.
that one. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was a wonderful experience, being
Yeah.
in Bombay and living my dream.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah.
How did that opportunity come about?
So because Naina Batra went so big, Naina Batra, she was constantly getting these WhatsApp messages of everybody messaging my video to her, and she recognized how big her song has become through my video. And so she decided that for her next song, she would fly me over and do choreography for her next song, Chanmai.
Nice.
And so that came up, and wonderful experience,
Yeah.
just learning about how everything behind the scenes work, your costumes. I got to not create, but kind of design the costumes that I wanted, tell them I want skirts, I want colorful. They also kind of showed me, and I love how they were so particular about, this is the location, this is the look that we want to have, and this is the vibe that we want to go with. So this is going to be your hair, and I just kind of, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
And just working with the directors backstage.
Do you see yourself doing more of that?
That would be great. But
Yeah.
I don't see myself living in India yet.
But let's just say, now this is kind of hypothetical.
Doing a project there, yes, I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could turn dance into a full-time thing, would you?
It's a hard question.
I know.
If I could,
That's why we ask these questions on the second floor. Would you, if opportunity came and said, Naina, we want you full-time, you would dance full-time, you would choreograph dances full-time. Now, it could be here, it could be US. I know you don't want to live in India, which is obviously a big factor, but if the opportunity came to do dance full-time, would you do it? Or would you continue to do what you're doing right now?
I would, depends on where it would take me, right? Does it take me away from my family? No, I wouldn't want to do it. Does it still keeps me with the people around, people that I'm with and around? Why would I want to live on my own and still be able to pursue my passion? I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
Or if I'd be happy doing that. As a project, yes.
Yeah.
But not maybe full time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like a project-to-project basis type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that.
Totally.
That would be great.
Yeah. All right, Naina, I think that kind of wraps up. Yeah. Where can people find you? Where can people find you on YouTube, Instagram?
Yes, so my
Plug those in.
YouTube is Naina Batra, and my Instagram is Batra_Naina. So that's where you can find me on social media.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Kenny's behind the scenes. He wants to ask.
I'm behind the scenes. I want to ask something that I was really curious about.
Yeah.
So, Naina, you are somebody who moved from India. It's amazing. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't know that.
that's
Really?
Cool. Yeah, that was a fun fact for me. You moved at around 10 years old, which is still, I feel like, young enough to be able to fully adapt to the American culture.
And also, I didn't know English, so I had to learn English from 5th to 6th grade. And from there on, I kind of became much more fluent, and then, yeah.
So for, let's say, the audience out there who have moved from India and then they came here at maybe 10 years old or 20 years old, anywhere in between, whatever age, what is something you could tell them that maybe you learned from you coming here? And maybe it was like something you could add that was like a huge struggle. That you came to America and maybe you had an idea in your head of what it would be like, and then you realized what the reality was at 10 years old, and then maybe how hard it was for you, but what you might have done differently or wish you'd done differently.
Oh, wow.
To be able to easily make the transition into an American.
I'm happy that I moved. I'm very happy that I moved because the lifestyle in India for women is very different, right? So the lifestyle there is, at least from where I'm from Punjab, it's a very small town. Women, you don't need to do anything, just stay home, make food, that's it, right? Everything's done for you. There's me. So creatively or professionally, there's nothing for you to even pursue. You don't have to worry about it. Your husband will take care of you. Versus US, I remember all my friends saying, "Where are you thinking about going to college?" I was like, I have no idea. Like, do I need to go to college? And just the lifestyle, right? What's around you? What's the environment around you? Okay, you need to be somebody of your own. You need to create your own identity here. I think that's why I loved coming to US, because I wouldn't have been what I am today. Nobody to push me to become something, or even the thought of having like, oh, you're supposed to be somebody of your own. Yeah. So, sorry, what was your question again?
Well, I was asking, like, what would be some of the things that you learned from your experience that you could kind of take as advice to someone who is in what your shoes were like years ago, and they're listening to this now, and maybe it's their first year in Canada or America, and they're scared, but they're also excited, And what is something that you wish to tell them to prepare into the first year?
Oh, wow. The time I came in was 2001. So that's a different time. I feel like now everything is so accessible. They may be thinking, U.S. is just it's a land of freedom and whatnot, and you do have to work hard. So don't come in thinking like, everything's very nice, but you have to work for it. So maybe that. I don't know. Let me think. What would be my advice for them? Yeah, I think just having that mindset, like you have to create your own identity. You have to create it yourself. It's not going to be handed down. Just because you're at a country that's much more developed and all of that, you have to actually work hard on your own and actually create it for yourself. So
I like that.
I feel like to your point too is like you have the opportunity to create your own identity.
Yeah.
Right? To your point about how in India you were thinking, oh, okay, well my role is to stay home and cook food. There's going to be someone else who's going to provide, and that's due to what you were used to seeing there.
Yeah, and I didn't even see the other side, right?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even open to it.
That's amazing.
So
last one.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So what is it that you feel like you have in your life now that you owe to the first 10 years of your life from Punjab? Like what is something, other than dancing of course, right?
Yeah.
With the cultural aspect of showing your great Indian moves, what is something else that you have that is value driven, is something you carry in your innate self that you can thank, those first 10 years of your life?
Thank you for showing me that there is, a different perspective of life. Right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to recognize what the opportunities I have coming up. So, so just, I'm actually very thankful to come from India, from Punjab, because I can relate to that. I can relate to my culture, to that lifestyle, even now that I'm in a Western culture. I can relate to those people now that come from that same background. It's actually not many people can do that, I feel, because Amit, there's other kids here who have grown up in this society. They don't connect with their parents because they haven't seen that lifestyle, what they're used to, what their thoughts are. So I can easily communicate to all these elderly because I know what they're thinking. I know where they're coming from. And I know how I can talk to them, because nowadays, why are they doing this? They don't understand this. Well, I'll tell you why they don't understand that. I can build that bridge. So I that's what I take out from being in India. So that's been a bigger, what's the word? Takeaway, I guess. Yeah.
I love that.
A lesson. Yeah, that's been a big lesson.
What's I want to ask one last question before we wrap it up. What's one piece of advice you could give to someone, maybe a young girl who looks up to you for a dance?
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice? Could be life advice, could just be strictly dance related. What's one piece of advice you could give that girl that looks up to you?
Yeah. I want her to know that you should follow your heart. Don't get manipulated with so many others. Like, go follow your heart. Do what you want to do, and don't settle for less.
I like that.
Yeah, don't settle for less. Mm-hmm. You have so much more to give. Like, don't settle for less.
I like that.
Yeah. Whether that's anything, relationship, profession. I never thought I would finish a doctorate when I was learning English. I did not think I would be able to do that. I did not think I would meet somebody, if I had settled for somebody, from my past, because I didn't think I would get that kind of person. No, I waited until I got what I wanted, So don't settle for anything. Wait for it. It'll come, and work hard for it. It'll come.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Naina, for being on the second floor.
Thank you for having
I
me.
think that's a wrap.
Yay, awesome.
Yes.